Hey everybody!
Hello!
Welcome back to CattaBlah Games. I'm sure some of you now are wondering what the fuck is going on. As you can clearly see, this is another episode of Super Mario World. Well, I decided there was something that I would like to talk about, and seeing as this game takes very little brain power, it's a lot easier to have conversations during. So I figured we'll throw in another 1 or 2 bonus episodes of Super Mario World, and then we'll move away from it. So, lucky you guys, you get another 1 or 2 episodes of Super Mario World.
To be fair, I don't remember the last, 2 or 3 episodes.
Well, yeah, that's probably true. I mean, I sure hope you don't, because if you did all that on purpose, ugh. Oh.
Yeah.
Of sound mind.
My personal life has been awesome since then. I love people coming up to me and calling me Pringles. You fucked up.
No!
Josh.
No! Okay.
Back to our old ways, like we
Yeah.
never quit playing.
We're a well-oiled machine here.
Well lubed up.
Oh, very. You can't fuck a Pringles can without lubing up, I'll tell you.
Sure you can. You're just spitting it.
Oh, God. So anyways, the thing that I wanted to talk about was, and it just kind of reminded me because I was watching the Super Bowl I was at my girlfriend's dad's house and the Super Bowl was on. And so I think it was like a week ago, that Bell Let's Talk Day, right?
Yeah, January 31st. Oh.
I had a conversation with one of the guys at work.
Really?
I think it's the one, yeah, that last one.
Oh, man.
Probably right under the last coin. Okay. Anyways, Bell Let's Talk Day. I kind of have a problem with it.
Do you?
Now, first of all, let me clarify. I think that it's great that they're trying to raise awareness and that they're donating money towards research for mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that, good lord, what? Every time as soon as we start recording it, it's like I have 10,000 dicks in my throat.
10,000.
At least. And yes, I do know what that feels like. Yeah, the Bell Let's Talk Day is great and all, but at the same time, it's really kind of very underhanded, I think, of Bell, because they use it as, they're trying to... Fuck! Okay, I'm never gonna get through this.
Do you need to talk about it? Do you need to Bell talk about it?
Somebody hashtag Bell talk me about it. I think it's really underhanded the way that they do it. If you want to donate money to something like that and raise awareness about it, just donate the money. Maybe I don't know what you like. Make a message about it, something, but the fact that they make it like low-key one of their biggest marketing campaigns, do they really care about the mental health aspect of it? Because it's probably, if you looked at the numbers, I'm willing to bet that it's probably the cheapest and also most widespread and most effective marketing campaign that they have all year.
Yeah.
Because it's, oh yeah, but hashtag Bell Let's Talk. Let's everybody do your part. But at the same time, they're donating probably a tiny fraction of their money towards the mental health and everything. And what they're getting out of it, like by getting their name out there, because hashtag Bell Let's Talk, their name is splattered all over everything. And at the same time, yes, they're a company, they need to look after their bottom line, right? But the advertising that they're getting and making themselves, quote unquote, look good during this whole campaign, I feel like it's kind of shitty that it almost feels like they're kind of taking advantage of it. And that's kind of the problem that I have with it. I still think it's great, and I still think it's good that, that the money's getting there.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't know if I overly agree with how they're going about it by making it more of a, if you get past the, oh, they're so great for donating the money. and get more towards the, oh yeah, this is just like one huge fucking marketing campaign kind of. I don't know. I feel like it's, I mean, it might be different for other people, like more affected. Obviously, I'm not affected by this at all. Like I know people who have, you know, suffer from any mental illnesses, but to me, it just feels kind of underhanded and a little skeezy the way that they're going about it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I agree with you to a certain point. To a certain point. I agree that it's kind of slimy to make money off of it. I do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have to applaud them because nobody else is doing it.
True, and I think it's a great thing, and I think that they, you know, somebody should be doing something, and and I think it's good that, you know, I think you need some kind of fame, you know, so you have a bit of, like, your voice is heard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think it would be great if, you know, YouTube would be a really good platform. You have, you know, a bunch of people who, it's a lot more personal, because, you know, they're not making the kind of money that these huge companies are, and they're not going on really ad campaigns about it.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more personal, you know, talking to one or a handful of people than it is, you know, a big conglomerate, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I think it'd be great if they all got together and did something without having to be kind of prompted by, you know, a big company like that.
Okay, so I guess the question is, would you be less offended by it if the hashtag was simply "Let's Talk"?
I think that would be more acceptable.
But it was still funded by Bell.
I think that would be more acceptable, because then you're making it not a.
Am I being stupid here? Where do I have to go?
You have to hit that yellow block.
Oh,
I mean, you can also go up that way, but that just gives you a vine.
Oh, okay.
That would make it more of a, like, let's focus on the issue than let's focus on an issue brought to you by Bell.
Yeah.
You know, like, I feel like that's the shitty part about it is it's kind of like they're advertising, oh, this is mental illness brought to you by Bell. Like, that's super shitty.
So
I mean, other people might have different views on it. Like, I totally get it, and I agree that it is a good thing, you know, that they're raising awareness for it. They're donating money towards it.
Yeah.
But I just feel like there has to be a better way without plastering your brand all over it.
So I'll give a little bit more insight into why Bell does it. And people can correct me if I'm wrong. It's something that an article I read once where the Bell as a company in general was very afflicted by mental illness, by, you know, employees' loved ones. I believe somebody took their life within the company. Are you fucking kidding? I didn't know he could do that.
Neither did I.
What a dick.
Yeah.
So anyways, from what I understand, that is the reason why they brought it up and why they started it. Yes, it had become a marketing campaign, of course. That's just the way that conglomerates are going to work.
Yep. I get that.
So I guess I can bring this as a perspective from somebody that does have mental health issues. I don't normally talk about it, like, at all. You know a lot about it.
Yes.
Just because we've known each other for a long time, but I went through a lot of shit in my past, a lot of abuse in my past, diagnosed with PTSD, with manic depression, and suicide. Or, not suicide.
You're still alive, Dustin!
I was about to talk about suicide.
Okay. I've committed suicide. I'm dead.
No, I wanted to say anxiety, not suicide.
Got it.
But when everyone was doing the Bell Talk, the problem that I have with Bell Talk is it is a breeding ground for the inconsiderate people. Like, I seen a bunch of people on my social media that, you know, poured their heart out and said, this is the type of person I am. You would never expect this of me, but this is what I go through on a day-to-day basis. Mm-hmm. And I've seen a lot of things where, in summary, it was get over it. Everybody has bad days. You don't need medication to feel happy. You're weak. seen a lot of that, not just on social media. I've seen it on a lot of other sites, everywhere. As somebody that does know what suicidal thoughts feel like, what manic depression feels like, what it feels like to whenever somebody is behind you, you have to, oh fuck. I want to call it the heebie-jeebies, but it's more like a fight. I get fight or flight, and I'm always flight, so I typically back away from that person. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be somebody walking behind me on the street, but I was so used to getting hurt in my past from childhood and later on in my early adult life, because that was the environment I was used to, that it...
Woo! No! Okay, keep going, sorry.
No, the problem that I have with it is...
Uh-oh.
If you don't get it, I envy you that you don't get it. You know what? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I didn't get it.
No!
I wish I didn't understand that crippling anxiety and, you know, when I go manic mode and I can't stop pacing, and then, you know, I did deal with suicide in my past before I got my counseling. So when people tell me, just get over it, you don't understand, and you should be very thankful that you don't understand. I don't know.
And here's another problem I have as well, is...
Do I need this?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I would hit it, okay. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I needed
it.
it.
That's a problem. One of the issues I have is you hear a lot of people... I feel like they're a little delusional, and they're making light of it, because you hear all the time people are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm depressed too, I have depression, blah blah blah. It's like a lot of these people, like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Everybody feels depressed at some point in their life, at lots of points in their life, and it may feel like, you know, oh yeah, I shouldn't feel like this. Wow, that's almost a record. Like, they feel like, you know, I shouldn't feel like this, I must have depression, blah 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 blah. It's like, no, it's normal for everybody to feel depressed. Now, it's completely different when it is like a chemical imbalance in your brain that you need to be medicated to control, versus just, oh, you know, I'm a little sad today.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Exactly.
Because it's totally different. Like, knowing people with depression when they're off their medication, and I mean, I'm sure there's varying degrees of it, but the people I know, they're noticeably a completely different person than they are when they're on their medication. Like, they're totally irrational. They have, you know, they think about things a way that would just, like, are totally far-fetched and, like, outlandish. But that's just, you know, how they feel and how they think at the time.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah. And it's just because they can't help it. Like, that's just their, you know, their brain is, I don't know a ton about what's going on in the brain as far as depression goes, but like the extra hormones or whatever it is that they're releasing, the chemical imbalance in their brain that causes this to happen, it's like there's nothing they can do about it. And those are the people where it literally can't be managed. Like, it has to be managed through medication. It's not a matter of just being, you know, able to get over it, or you'll feel better, you know, oh, you're just feeling sad today. It's like, no, that's how it is for them all the time, unless they get medicated. And I'm sure there's like not as severe forms where maybe medication is not required. But they, you know, it's still, it's manageable by yourself, but it's still very real, and it's not something that you can help.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
So,
like, for example, with me, I had the opportunity to do something really cool, was do neurological brain scans. So you actually get to see the way that your brain lights up, and they showed me what a normal brain looked like, and then they showed me my brain. And my brain had the typical, characteristics of somebody with PTSD. So, you know, it's a lot darker looking. I don't have a lot of the lighting up of the neurons that a lot of other people do. I actually take 3 different medications to deal with it. And for the most part, I'm good.
Yeah.
I did therapy and counseling for a long time to get over my stuff. Medication definitely helps, but I went for a long time without that. And when people ask me people will ask me what it feels like, and I say, okay, right now in my life, I have every single reason to be happy. I have great friends. I hopefully met the woman that I plan on marrying. I have a great career. I'm well educated. I have a lot of different talents. But yet, some days, I wake up and I feel like there's a crushing weight on me. And my first thought is, it would be a lot better and a lot easier to handle if I were dead.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like people with depression quite often actually feel like they legitimately feel like everybody else would be better off if they were no longer around.
Yeah.
And like I know it seems like a cliche and a silly thing, probably just because of, you know, what you see in movies or maybe other people have said. But like that's just legitimately what they feel like. They're like, you know, oh yeah, this would be better if I did this because everybody else would be happier.
Yeah.
And it's like it's very much not the case, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, it's just depression is such a weird thing and a very hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I guess I wouldn't really say you can deal with it on your own. Most people need to be medicated and need to make some changes in their lives. But, you know, I don't know. It's just something I kind of wanted to talk about, especially, you know, yeah, because of the Bell talk. I've kind of brought up some points and that I talked about with a guy the other day at work.
But like I said, I agree to a certain point, but there's just such a stigma about it right now. I like that the word's getting out there, because let me tell you something. I've lost jobs. I've lost relationships before I got help. I know what the end of a gun tastes like. I know what it feels like to be disappointed when you wake up next to that empty pill bottle, and you're disappointed because you wake up. I get it. That was years ago, and I'm in a very much better place now. But I get it. So when people tell me that it's just something you're supposed to get over, it's something that really rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because you don't get it, and you don't realize how fortunate you are that you don't get it, that you don't have to go through the things that we went through, or maybe you were born with these. I wasn't born with it. It was something that developed because of traumatic experiences. But yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting talk. I wish more people would talk about it.
Well, yeah, it's just nobody. I feel like a lot of things like this make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just maybe not even talking about it, but just hearing other people talk about it. There's just some subjects make people feel uncomfortable to talk about, and so people would rather just not talk about it and kind of, you know, put it in the cupboard and let it be there without, you know, having to acknowledge it. But like I'm sure everybody has somebody in their lives, maybe multiple somebodies in their life that are affected by some form of mental illness. Like I know we only talked about depression, but there's other forms of mental illness too as well.
Yeah.
It's probably a really common thing, and most of the time you would never know that somebody is suffering from a mental illness like that.
I think people are gonna, because a lot of people in my own personal life, they know me as being that jokey, high energy person that most people who watch this channel would agree with. It's gonna surprise a lot of people to hear that is something that I go through and have went through. But a little bit, because we're coming to the end of the episode here, a little bit of advice for anyone that is approached by somebody who is looking for help, or if you know that they're just down. I can't tell you enough how much it helps to just have somebody text you at night and ask you how you are, because it makes us, if you're having a bad day, things are bad in your life at that moment, and your depression is playing into that as well, you have no idea how much it helps just to know that one person cares about how your night is going. So I've received that from people. I have very good friends in my life. I don't know if I would be here if I didn't have those friends, and my mom as well. So yeah, if somebody ever comes to you, don't turn them away, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, that's about all the time we have for this episode. I don't know if we'll end up doing another Super Mario World or not, but that's just kind of something I wanted to talk about, especially kind of being prompted by that whole Bell Let's Talk
fair.
Day. But just, something to talk about that doesn't usually get talked about often. So yeah, like if you guys have stories, let us let us know in the comments. Share your story with us too. We'd love to hear about everybody's personal experience and if they've gone through something. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye. Later.